Everybody, this is and you're watching my channel, Ocean Deep Fishing. And if this is your first time viewing our channel, hey, welcome aboard. So today, this is something I've been thinking of and researching for a long time, and finally wanted to bring it to you. And it's a new phenomenon that's just going crazy over the whole country, and it's called slow pitch jigging. Now, I've been studying this for a few months now, and it's something that I feel I want to get into and bring something new to the channel. So I did a little bit of research, and let me give you a little bit of background from slow pitch jigging. So slow pitch jigging came years ago, and it was developed in Japan by a gentleman named Norihiro Sato. He's a Japanese fisherman who decided to do something about their fishery because most of the recreational anglers over there could not catch fish because of the way that the commercial fishermen had just eradicated the fish in the shallower waters. So he wanted to develop something that the recreational fishermen could go out and catch some fish. And the biggest part of it was he decided and researched that the best possibility for fishing was to go deep down into where normal netters and stuff couldn't get to, because he figured that's where the fish were left for the recreational angler. So he developed the slow pitch jigging, and it's where it originated in Japan. And about a decade ago, it was introduced to the United States. And back then, when it was first introduced, there wasn't a lot of information about it. All of the rod and reel manufacturers were just getting to learn about this. It was very hard to get jigs. It was very hard to get a rod and a reel to put this together. So moving a decade later, this has been a phenomenal new way of fishing for most anglers in the United States that are getting into it. And today, there's a wide variety of manufacturers that are making specific rods and reels and jigs to go for the slow pitch jigging. So this is a video on what I've learned and me getting into it on just a beginner's level. I'm no expert by any means in slow pitch jigging. I'm learning just as you are learning, maybe from watching my channel right now. So we're going to go over a little bit of what I learned. At the end of the video, I have an unboxing to do of a rod, a reel, line, and some jigs that I'm going to put together, and we're going to start doing some slow pitch jigging on our channel and hopefully bring you some exciting new different ways to. All right, so let's start off. What's the difference between fast jigging and slow pitch jigging? Seems like it's about the same, but there's a very different strategy. Fast jigging is where you have your lures that are pretty long, and you go down to the very bottom of structure or wherever you're fishing, and you're really cranking up fast. You're moving it up from the bottom into the middle of the water column, maybe almost up to the surface, and then if you haven't got a hit, you're dropping it back down to the bottom. And it's very tiresome, especially if you're trying to do this for any length of time. Is the fast jigging jigs are to represent a fish trying to run away fast from a structure or a predator, a toothy critter, whatever. So that's the whole thing of speed jigging, is you want the bait to look like it's running away. So the slow pitch jigging, the jig represents a hurt bait fish that's fluttering around that can't like get away, and it makes it more of an easier target for, say, a lazy fish that doesn't want to expend energy to go chase down a bait. And that's what causes the hookup. The fast jigging, speed jigging, what they call, you're really cranking up real fast all day long, doing this, and then bringing the bail down, let it back down. So slow pitch jigging is where you have a smaller reel, lighter rod, and you're pulling up and you're letting the fall of the lure go over there. So you're picking up, letting it fall, So you're not doing this high speed thing over and over again. And the slow pitch jigs, you want to leave toward the bottom to a little bit up. Now that's not saying that you can't catch anything up in the mid column with these, because you can. But the idea of fishing with these jigs is to fish on the bottom or close to the bottom to get the grouper, the red snapper. I mean, I've seen them catch tuna fish, kingfish on the bottom of the reefs. So we're going to talk a little bit about the difference of line and jigs that we're using too. So in a conventional jigging, a lot of people use 50 to 80 pound braid with a shot leader of maybe 20-30 pound monofilament, 10 to 15 foot. In the slow pitch jigging, the deeper you go and the farther your jig is going to travel, it's actually the opposite, is the lighter the line that you want to go. And because of the depth of the water, you want to use a lighter line, for one, to prevent drag from the current going through, and it also prevents scope in your line, to where the scope is going over there and then your current's bringing it even farther. So you want to reduce the amount of scope between the rod tip and your lure. So basically you want to be straight vertical with the boat when you're jigging. And so when you're going into 8,000-9,000 foot of water, you want to make sure that you're going down. So typically in 800 foot of water, from what I read, you want to be between 20 and 30 pound braid, and then 30 to 40 pound monofilament if you want to put on 10 or 15 foot for a shock absorbent. If you guys are just getting into this and you want to know like the in-depth from top to bottom, very knowledgeable, is a Florida Sportsman's magazine. Has it's almost 2 hours long of a recorded seminar where he talks about all the rods, all the reels, the lines, everything. Now this can be very, very expensive to get into. Like some of the rods he talks about, Captain Mike on his Florida Sports Fisherman magazine, the rods alone can go $1,500. Reels $500, $600, $800. So you know, you could easily, between the rigs, the line, the rods, reels, everything, you could have $3,000 to $4,000 in one rod. Okay, so most of us, like you and I, we can't afford that, especially if we want to have a couple different rods on the boat. So I've done a lot of research, and there's a lot of manufacturers out there that you can go from. There's Shimano, there's GOOFISH, there's several other companies that offer these rods and reels now, and at competitive prices. So I wanted to get into something that's a medium price, because I don't know that I'm really going to do a lot of this, or even if I'm going to like it. But in all indication from watching other videos, it seems like it's pretty fun. The rods, when you see these rods, they're very different than conventional rods that you have now. They look like a play toy. They're very thin. They bend like crazy. They don't look like much like they would even hold a pinfish if you caught a pinfish. But the new technology of the rods are very, very strong. The parabolical bend that you have in these rods are phenomenal. They really almost bend in half. They have a lot of backbone to them, in the sense that they load your jig up when you're going up and down very well, because they act like an elastic rubber band. So when it bends, it actually flips back up, and that's what causes the flutter movement of your jigs at the bottom. That the rod helps that. Also, the reels that you're going to find out that's for slow pitch jigging, they're very small, very lightweight, and very narrow. They have a very narrow spool, and basically it's that so that you can encompass the whole reel in the palm of your hand. And you're going to use your forearm as part of the rod extension to help you support the rod, and it enables you to do this for a longer period of time than the fast speed conventional jigging. Also, the reels, when you're looking at a reel, you want to get a high capacity retrieve. So the reel that I'm going to show you, with one turn of the reel, takes in 45 to 48 inches of line, depending on, you know, what the pound test is. So for every turn that you're making on the crank, you're bringing up 4 foot of line, which is very important, because remember, you're fishing deep waters, anywhere from 200 to 800 feet. Line capacity is one that you got to consider, and 2 is the retrieval amount of inches that you're going to retrieve with one turn of the handle. And another point to the rods. You know, most rods, when you look at them and you shop for them, you're looking for a specific light to medium, medium to heavy, or heavy rods, so the poundage of your line is going to determine what rod you want to match up. So with slow pitch jigging, it's a little bit different. So you're matching the rods to the amount of grams of jig that you're going to be fishing. If you're fishing a 150 gram lure, you want a rod that's going to be, say, between 150 and 200 grams. Your grams of your lures are going to depend on how deep you're fishing. That's going to be totally up to what you guys are doing. I typically fish in 200 to 800 foot of water. I very rarely get out to over 1,000 feet for jigging. I do go for trolling, you know, for dolphin and tuna and that sort of stuff. The rods and reels that I've picked out is because of the way I fish. Now, the way you fish, you might want something a little heavier, a little lighter, depending on what you're doing. So the jigs that we're using versus high-speed jigging. On a high-speed jig, both the sides of your jigs, this side and this side, are pretty much parallel to each other in the same contour, whether it's short, long, whatever. On your slow pitch jigging, they're made a little bit different. So one side of your jig could be just bowed in a slight trim of angle, which the other side might have a V shape on the belly, which comes down to a flat at the bottom. And those different contours of the lures is what gives you the movement and the flutter of your lures on the bottom. So conventional high speed is going to be identical on either side. The slow pitch jigging is going to be different on either side, and later on in this I'm going to show you the difference between the two. Okay guys, so on the table here is everything that I've ordered for slow pitch jigging, and I'm going to unbox the rod, the reel, show you the line. I have a couple lures that I ordered to get started with, and some of the small equipment that you need to do it. And I'm going to, on another video, I'm going to show you how to rig your rod, how to rig your reel, put your line on your reel, and how to install assist hooks on your jigs, and how to hook it to your line to get ready to go drop for the first time. But that'll be in another video. Right now we're going to start and do our veiling. So after looking at many rods and reels, I've decided to go with the GOOFISH black rod, and that's what I ordered. And it comes in, now I ordered this quite a while ago. It took me a while to get all the parts and pieces in, so I ordered this, and it's probably, I received it about a month ago. So it came right from China. You can see the long tubular thing, and they also do something which was pretty unique. They tape a piece of bamboo on the tube rod, so in shipping the rod doesn't get damaged from the tube bending or whatever. So I thought that was a pretty cool idea. All right, so cut this out of the package and take a look at this bad boy. I'm so excited. I've been waiting so long to get this and to do this video for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. And by the way, if you're enjoying this and my other videos that I have, please give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. We are growing. We're over 450 subscribers right now, and I know there's a ton of viewers that view our channel that are not subscribed, and I would be most appreciative if some of you would subscribe to the channel, just to show your support that you're liking what we're doing. And it also helps our channel grow and of course get higher on YouTube so that they recommend our videos. So anyway, that's the bamboo that they sent along with the tubing. Alright, so I'm going to open one end of this. Now I ordered this directly from GOOFISH rod. They also have it at Amazon. You can order from Amazon, but I ended up doing the company because Amazon was out of the black for so long, and that's the one that I really wanted. So anyway, it's a nice bubble wrap in the tube. Now this is a 6'6" rod that I bought, and I went with the 6'6" just because of that's kind of the size I like in my other rod, so I thought I'd try this. All right, so cool. So it's in a, oh, it's a nice sleeve that it's in. I'll just throw that down there. So yeah, there's your GOOFISH rod cover. Push it out from the top. All right, there she is. We will pull that out. Hopefully everything, like I said, it's been a month or two sitting in here, so I'm hoping there's nothing broke in it, because I don't know how long they let you go before you send it back if there's anything, if there's a problem. Very nice. So I got this is the flat black slow pitch jigging. It's a 6'6" rod. This is a one piece, by the way. They have them two pieces, but I wanted to try the one piece first. I know some of you, if you're for traveling and stuff, some of you might like the two pieces. Is rated for 120 to 250 gram lure, and the maximum is 350, so you can go 100 above. And heard in some of the other videos, a good way to kind of judge what gram lure you need for the water you're fishing is, if you're fishing in 200 foot of water, you should be using a 150 to 250 gram jig. So they want you, basically it's a 50 gram difference between the depth of the water and your jig. You have a variance, the rule of thumb that they have on picking out your jig to your rod. Of course, you don't want to go over what your rod limit is. And then you can tell that your rear handle is a lot longer than a conventional one, and that is to fit underneath, just like this, underneath your forearm, to give you the motion to help your arm be part of the pole. A nice limber tip. And this doesn't weigh anything. I mean, I can go with 2 fingers and hold this thing up. I mean, most of you probably laugh when you look at it if you've never seen one before and you look at it in the store. It looks really flimsy, but from all the videos I watched, these things can pull in some massive fish. Okay, so that is the rod. Okay, secondly, I looked at a lot of different reels. I started to go with the GOMEXUS. Now this is the SX 450. Now they have the reason I went with this is because it has the higher line capacity of 450 yards of line. Let's reveal that. Alright. Okay, so it was nicely packaged, got plenty of bubble wrap. Oh, it comes with, that's a reel lock to go underneath your rod, lock it down, so just in case the locks come loose, that your reel doesn't come off the rod. Alright, it comes in a very nice wrap case that you can, once it's cleaned and dried, you can wrap it to keep it nice and shiny. So first of all, I'm noticing it's got a very smooth drag. So it has a strike position, and then you can go to higher drag, and you can tell after the strike position it kind of has notches, so you can kind of put it forward and it's got a couple more notches so you can tell what the drag is. It's a narrow spool, looks like it's very nicely made, nice shiny. Okay, so the other model of this that I was looking at, and I only went with this because of the line capacity, was the LX50, which I think only holds 300 yards of line versus this one holds 450 yards. So, but basically the reel is about the same. The handle on this one was a little bigger handle. The other one has a round knob handle, so that was another difference, that I think I like this bigger handle to grip on. And you can see this fits right in the palm of your hand. The maximum strike is 66 pounds of drag, and the line capacity is 490 yards of 30-pound braid. Okay guys, so the next thing I wanted to show you that I got was the line capacity is 490 yards. This is a 500 yards, and this is a company I've already spooled a couple of my reels with this. It's Reaction TACKEL, and it is the new PE braid, which is polyurethane 8-strand braid, which is one of the newer lines out there, high performance. And I got the color blue. Now this is a fade resistant blue, so we'll see how the sun works on that. But because my reel had some blue on, I couldn't get a dark blue, but we're going to put this blue line on it, and this is 30 pound. Like I said, you know, the deeper water you fish, they're recommending that you go to lighter line so that there's less drag, the line cuts through the water, and you don't have so much scope. So we're going to start out with 30, and I think for the fishing I'm going to do, I think that's going to be perfect. So we're going to spool on there. We're going to spool this on our new reel. And then the lures. So the lures, basically, when you get a lure in most places and you buy a lure, they come just like that with no hooks on. So these are assist hooks that you can buy. Normally they come in pairs. Some people rig just the front nose with 2 hooks. Some of them do both. Some of them do a double hook on the front and a single hook on the back. I'm going to start with double hooks. And then the other thing is, when you rig these with the double hooks, you want to make sure that the hooks don't touch each other so that they don't get snagged around one another and mess up your hookup when they get hit. And I'm going to show you how to rig these up in another video, along with tying your lines and that sort of stuff for slow pitch jigging. And you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to try to hold it up. So on this side of the lure is just kind of straight, rounded side. This side here has a glow to it. See the stripes? They glow, so if you're getting into deeper water, it gives kind of a shine. But also, it has a different shape, kind of comes to a point, kind of like a V almost on the back side. So this is straight, this has a V, and that's what, as it's falling and fluttering, that V part is what gives you the little action. So that's one particular kind, and this is another one which is shorter. Now the flat side does have a contour a little bit, but then it has a little belly in here. And then on the opposite side, you can see it's a V-shaped as well, it goes up and down. And between those two different shapes, that's what flutters. So your typical high-speed jig, which is this one right here, that's your high-speed jig, which is usually narrow. Both sides are equally the same. You have your single hooks. Sometimes they put a second hook on here, but that is typically your high-speed jig. And they come longer, shorter, but the difference is that both sides are the same. This side and this side are both matching. So that's basically the biggest difference of the two. And this is the one that darts up like it's going away from you, from the fish. It's trying to get away. This acts more of a fluttering fish where it's been hurt and it's going up and down. It's not being able to run away, and so it's an easy target for fish that are on the bottom that don't want to express a lot of energy to go chase it down. So that's what entices them. Here are assisted hooks. I find I've watched a lot of videos of people making their own assisted hooks, and I just find for the price it's easier just to go ahead and buy them. I bought these 10 packs of assisted hooks, and I think I paid like 20 bucks for them. And it's a lot, for me, it's a lot easier and better than doing them myself and tying them. Like a lot of times I got limited time to go do some stuff because of my work schedule, so a lot of times it's just easier to go ahead and buy them. And then, so anyway, that is my introduction to slow pitch jigging. I know this was a long video. I hope you guys liked the video. I hope it was informative to you if you are thinking about getting into slow pitch jigging. Do a lot of research. There's so much stuff out there. Don't go by just what I'm telling you here, because there's a lot of people that are more experienced than me, but I'm just kind of giving you an idea of what I'm doing, and I'm going to be making some videos of using all this equipment out there and see if we have any luck on it at all. So there's going to be a video following this video of putting the reel on the rod. I'm going to spool it with my line. I'm going to show you how to tie your monofilament to this line, and then I'm also going to show you how to rig these up from the start when you just purchase these lures and they don't have the assist hooks on. I'm going to show you how to rig all that up. Okay guys, well that's going to wrap up this video of the introduction to slow pitch jigging. I hope some of the things that I told you was informative. If you guys are going to get into this, maybe this is brand new, you never heard of the slow pitch jigging before, so it's going to open your interest to go in. And like I said before, if you want to get a phenomenal idea and very educational video, watch Florida Sportsman's Magazine on slow pitch jigging seminar, and it's about 2 hours long. It's a long video, but I'm telling you what, he will give you everything you need to know about slow pitch jigging. That's where my first video I learned even about slow pitch jigging, and it's great. So anyway, I want to thank you so much for your time spending on my channel, and if you really like, please give us a thumbs up. We do really appreciate it, and it helps our channel tremendously get to more viewers. And if you know somebody that might like this, or you've talked about slow pitch jigging and you want to recommend this video, by all means share this on social media, YouTube, Facebook. We're on Facebook, Ocean Deep Fishing. We're also on Instagram, One Fish Too Big on Instagram. If you'd like to go tag along and follow us on there, I'd be most appreciative. So until we see you next time, God bless, stay safe, tight lines everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.